around to do the x-rays. Boy, the neurologist who lived down on Thornhill Lane, or the neurosurgeon, was so upset when they brought him in Saturday morning to see me. Any goddamn first-year intern could have read that x-ray. C6.
He broke C6 just by turning around.
Just snapped it, yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Never missed a day's work. Because he come down and he says, well, you've been walking around for 3 days. We can take you up and put the Crutchfield tongs in and we'll just put a cervical collar on you. I said, I got a choice. A few of them got black too.
Yeah. So this year is our 80th birthday.
Is that right?
April 20th, 1937 was when we signed the original contract. So
I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you say
that.
I'm glad you say that as we. That
yeah. So
impresses me that you still go back with we. That back up.
Well, the chief talked that way too.
Yeah.
we're family as far as I'm concerned.
You better believe it.
And this is actually something that I ask everybody, and forgive my bluntness on it, but I will ask you the same thing. Eventually we all pass. When you do, would you like a full fire service funeral by our township? We'd be honored to do so.
Yeah. I was going to talk to you before I left.
That is something
I told the chief something I did for Chief Moffat, because I was chief in Dublin, and of course I'd had him, and when he died, he had 6 uniformed firefighters, 3 on each side of the hearse. Once they got the traffic light in Dublin, walked all the way to the gravesite, alongside the hearse. And of course, we had the 2 towers setting up, or a ladder and a tower.
So
I always liked that.
We'd be honored to do that too.
Yeah.
So, with your permission, when that time comes, we
I don't know where I'm going to be. Since
I know where you're going.
Yeah, I know. I'll just slide right down. That's one of those slides like they got at Water World, and just go right on down.
Do you think you'll be buried in Dublin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Family.
Watt's already there.
Okay.
Mom and Dad and 2 brothers are there, plus part of a brother's wife and a nephew.
There's a picture of, I believe, George Eager's headstone, and they have the brass or the steel military badges with the flag posted in it. I'm trying to reinstill that and buy a bunch of those for the gentleman.
That'd be nice, because they had them once.
I wasn't sure if we did or not.
Used to take them up to the cemetery every Memorial Day.
Okay.
And put American flags in them. They were the ones that told the flag, and they put it on every firefighter.
Yeah. So I'd like to do that.
They had a list of those at one time.
I have a list somewhere of about a dozen of them, so I've got to do a lot more legwork to fill that out.
That may be all that's buried up there when I think back. Or some of the early guys, I saw a couple and I didn't even know.
God, I can't think who the last one might have been. Well, Herb was the last one.
Herb.
But before him, I don't know.
And his headstone's still up there, but he's still with Leona, I believe. So.
Is his headstone there now?
I believe she said that his headstone was placed, but that she still keeps him. So he's with her at her new place. His ashes and one of the brass nozzles are sitting on her.
Oh, that's right.
I believe Schreiber might have given that to her. Can't remember. To Barrington through Schreiber. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I at least offered that.
Yeah. The guys before you had promised that, but they're all gone now.
Well, I've got
guys that knew me.
I've got at least 25 years, so.
No kidding.
You're
like me, you started young.
Anytime in the next 25 years, if you.
Oh, you got 25 years to go.
I got 25 years left to keep that promise.
I sure don't.
So that being said, here is for next year. That is the original minutes for the 1937.
God, who was
And the list of gentlemen who were there is on the back page.
Eckert? Doc Eckert. Mr. Eckert, not Doc Eckert, it's Mr. Eckert.
Jack Eckert.
Oh, that's Jack Eckert.
Jack Eckert
That's right.
and
That's right.
Leopard, their names are on the plaque on the firehouse.
Frank Bowers.
Were the
There's
trustees at
Harry
that time.
Whitaker, there's Whitaker's. Ben Black, he's the originator of cream of peanut butter.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he lived in the
lived
last
where,
house going north of Dublin, which is about 200 numbers.
No, 72, it's about 80.
Oh, that's right.
We lived in
Yours was
72.
didn't it?
Yeah,
And
where,
the end of Franklin Street at that time, the general manager lived Bernard Carr.
what's the restaurant there? Well,
Oscars?
that last restaurant there before
been in
all
any
the
of them.
building.
Somebody had it, 3 of them in pencil.
There's 2 of these are Al Smith,
Yeah, they sure are.
and then Al
Termeer.
But I think they are re-signed up here somewhere when I looked at it. So I counted 21 names there, and then it was reconfirmed.
This
when I
is the
found
list of it there.
The typed list. And each township paid $2,637.38 for 3 years of service. And then they were billed according to where the incident happened. So
At that time, 2 townships could not jointly own a fire department.
correct.
So that's
Hence
how
the
it came
fire
about as
board,
a Dublin
right.
fire department, yeah. And that number kind of stuck with me, that name,
Which one?
Dublin Fire Department. It's still Dublin to me. That's
Yeah.
what those used to say.
Well, and so that's the thing is,
I had that designed. Not the wording that way, but,
tell me about that.
well, Columbus had just come out one, and I found out one of the Box 15 members, Fred Hill, was an industrial designer. And I went to Fred. When we was working the Hartmobile, we ran into him a lot because he took a lot of pictures of our first run and stuff. And I asked him if he'd design us one. It was just a little bit different in Columbus, so the flame was a little bit different. That's how we got it. Because everybody else going to competition had patches on their uniform. We didn't. So that's why I had it done. Because one of the other guys on the team, when I was on team with Columbus, had talked to him. He designed them for us. So actually, I was involved in designing Columbus and this stuff.
He also started the numbering system. It's in
I was
Franklin.
part of the committee.
Okay. The numbering of the vehicles.
91, 92. And
And how was that created and why?
well, my answer to that was when we was at the hotel fire in Marysville, there was 13 engine ones there.
And what was so that was the realization. After that, what was the process of getting that done?
Well, his committee finally they'd start with Columbus and leave them 50 spots. We never thought it'd be as many as they got now, truthfully. And then they just came out in a circle. So from Columbus, it went to Grandview and Clinton and Arlington and just wound right around. The idea was they started to give just 5 spots to everybody. And I said, no, we got to go into triple numbers anyway. Why not make it 10? And then if there's a split in a department, the first split. So Perry, when they went 92, they should have been 95. And same way with Jerome. Like Jerome was called 162, and it should have been 165. The way it was first set up.
And about when was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was 71 or 72. Because the committee had already met once when I was named chief and I started going to it.
So tell me about, you came from Columbus, correct? How long did you work in Columbus?
8 years.
And I'm still trying to put together in my head, we had Chief Moffett until 51. And then in March of 51, Chief Shriver took over. Shriver left in 71. Then
Yeah,
you
and
took
Dan
over.
Stormont was in there for 3 months.
3 months. Okay, that was
And
my
so
question.
71, August 71, I took over.
August 71. So during the summer of
76.
71, he was, okay. Because I couldn't find Chief
Well-
Stormont documented anywhere yet.
Who?
Stormont.
Oh,
I
yeah,
couldn't
that's
find
where he's
him.
at. He was between Shriver and me, 3 months.
That's what I thought, but
So it was three chiefs in 1971, if you want to put it that way.
okay. Because I saw Chief Shriver retired in 1971 news article, and then I saw you hired in 71, and I'm like, I thought Stormont was in there, and I couldn't figure out how.
It was.
Why so short? Was it just a temporary acting thing? Or?
He couldn't work with the trustees either.
Okay. So that was
I
political.
wasn't a yes man, so that's why I didn't get along with him.
Yeah.
That, and if I'd been around today, I'd have been screaming about these roundabouts. How do you get the tower around? Especially the one at Shire Rings and Crosby.
I don't know because I don't drive that, but I know
No.
the guys are getting real good at doing so. So
Because that one's one lane, and they have to go over the curb with it.
yeah. What
When I was in England and in New Jersey both 40 some years ago, and at that time the emergency services wanted to do away with roundabouts, both New Jersey and London, England. They hated them for response. And now here we are, some civil engineering professors decided they're the greatest thing in the world, and taught all these young engineers that's on the different political subdivisions.
You didn't need to bring that up.
No, I don't have a problem with
No,
it.
Well, my problem always been with is how do they get.
He's always been opposed to how you get that truck around that thing.
Yep. That's always bothered me. If you had a tiller, you could do it.
Yeah.
Those are fun to till.
I was gonna say, now we got guys, when we borrowed the tiller in 90s maybe, loved it. And when we just bought our new louder, there was a number of guys who were trying to,
Well, I
Tiller.
always said Dublin should have a ladder and not a tower, because you got one in Worthington, now you got one at 27th. Hilliard's had a tower, Marysville had a tower, which was our main people then. Arlington had a tower. Dublin should have a ladder, so you can get in the back alleys or the tight spaces with them.
Sure.
You can't get a tower in there,
sure.
because there's use for both. You can't lay a tower flat on a roof to work off of it either.
Yep. We've had to modify how we work
Yeah.
out of the bucket in order
Yeah.
to do so.
Something would raise Cain if I'd asked for a ladder back then. Of course, I had it in a future plan, I did some pre-planning for short range and long range, and I had one in there.
Sure. While we're on that one, you obviously stayed plugged in after you left because you spoke very intelligently about political decisions that have happened since then. Tell me what you know of the split in '83. And
I
why.
don't know anything about this, but
You don't know
it was
anything.
after me. I said, the only thing, well, they never did get along. The only thing they agreed on was getting rid of me. He may know more about it.
Well, I've always said that it goes back to Perry Township building a firehouse
Yeah,
on their own and then demanding
but
the equipment be moved from someplace over here, over there.
And they bought a used piece of equipment, front mount. that
And
only had
there
like 400
was-
gallons of water on it.
One particular trustee that was pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Oops.
that's all right.
I can edit anything.
There seemed to be maybe the one in Perry Township and one in Washington Township, not so bad, but yet. And it was, actually, I was clerk in Perry Township when this was getting started and going on, and they just, like I said, did things on their own, and that created a problem. And I don't know whether trustees before I was involved got along any better, but there were just a couple from Perry Township that just.
Well, I tell you, and trustees before that group met, Washington Township trustees met with me about an own fire department. So it was going on then.
Okay.
we met at the restaurant.
Seemed to be always somebody in Perry Township that was,
Pushing more.
yeah, that was antagonistic. Now, keep in mind though, where the fire truck's sitting. Clear over here on this side of the river, and nothing over there that could run all the way to Henderson or all the way to Worthington Hills.
But at the time, there wasn't enough
But
enough people around. That's why
Yeah.
it was put there to start with.
Yeah.
There'd be some people to respond.
And it, of course, traffic got so bad in town that they had to move out of Dublin and moved farther away from Perry Township again. So,
Yeah, that station was built before I took over.
yeah, you can see why they thought that they were getting this wrong. But they started out together. And I don't know, as Perry Township grew, as far as housing and house developments any faster than Washington Township. I don't know whether Brookside was probably built
Yeah, Brookside
after,
Well, Brookside and Worthington Hills were both
yeah,
there
about
before they built that station.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And at the
Brookside
time,
was really the first,
development.
yeah, what do they call that? It was just up at Powell, Parade of Homes.
Parade of Homes.
Brookside had really the first parade of homes, and we're talking about in the 60s at least.
Oh, yeah.
So in '83, they dissolved.
Had to
the
be
department.
before 68.
Was it 83 when they dissolved?
Yeah, I think it was January 1 of '83 they split.
I don't know how they divided the equipment.
I don't know either.
Well, I even talked to the mayor of Dublin at that time about Dublin forming the township and taking over the fire department, because by law, they would have received so much equipment per their tax evaluation is how much equipment they would have got out of it. So they'd had some to start with. And you wouldn't have all the problems they had with Concord Township and Muirfield. Or how about Jerome Township right now? We're part of Dublin's in Jerome Township. That Costco's in Jerome, isn't it?
It is.
I was gonna say, because that county line goes right just by Hall's Corner and just south of Crosby it crosses over.
But it's not Dublin.
Oh, it's not?
No, my understanding
Oh, I
is,
thought it
and
was.
this is a complete maybe misunderstanding of my, but when they re-merged, that Dublin decided to make it, anything that was Dublin became Washington Township.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, if
Just to
they was
simplify.
gonna form Shamrock Township,
Yeah.
and that would have happened, like
So there-
Montgomery Township.
So there are parts of Jerome that are being annexed, and which means growing Washington Township being taken over
Right.
by it.
That's the only way to stop the